Hello. So I'm here to talk about my lady heroes today. So let's get into it. um, First, I want to talk about my mom, of course, just because she basically raised my sister and me on her own. Just because even when she was married to my dad and my stepdad, they were both kind of useless. um, anyway, she tried to instill like good values into my sister and me. Like she wanted us to be independent and strong women, and so she tried to teach us throughout our lives that we shouldn't need to rely on someone for financial or emotional or any of that kind of support, and that like everything we needed was within us, and all of our strength was all within us. So and I mean that's always kind of a struggle. I've never had the highest self-esteem, and I've struggled with like all of my depression and anxiety and stuff, and it's always been kind of hard on me. But I mean, it's always something to strive for, just to loving myself, and because it's important. And my mom always taught me that it was important. Um, so yeah, that's just kind of that's kind of the major contribution that she's had with us, aside from raising us. And she was always a really great mother, and she was always a cool mother. And I was never like a problem child. I was never grounded or anything, just because I never did anything. So, um, but I mean, she never really needed to ground us, because she always raised us like we had just a mutual respect for each other. So, even though we'd fight now and then, sometimes she still drives me crazy, but like just because we have a mutual respect for each other, and she's always treated us like human beings and not like subordinates or something, which is like how my dad has always treated me and my sister. And but I think rather than treating us like that, and rather us treating us like human beings and like peers almost, um, I think we've got grown a lot through that, and just I've had great experiences with her, and I'm really close to her now. Like we go out and drink together and stuff, which is weird, but it's fun, just because my mom's great, and she's got good advice, and she's got like interesting things to say sometimes, and so it's great. I'm gonna get all misty, but my grandma is also someone that I look up to a lot. She's probably the reason that my mom is who she is today. And according to my mom, she's a much better grandma than she was a mother. But I just think, I mean, I only know what I know now. So, I mean, she's awesome. She raised my mom and her two sisters alone. Um, my my mom's father was never really in her life that much. So she's also like a very independent. She had to work many jobs to support her whole family, um, and she's just a really cool, interesting lady. Like she used to work for a travel agency, so she got to travel all over the world, and that kind of between that and my mom working for United Airlines, I've always I've always had that desire to travel just because of that. Like my grandma got to go to Iceland, and she went to Kenya, and she went to just cool, interesting places that I would never have thought of before as a kid. But um, but it kind of makes me want that some more now. Um, as far as people I don't know, I really look up to women who own businesses, like my bosses. Even though I hate my job, I look up to women who own small businesses, and especially when they're successful, just because I mean, I might want to do that someday, and I don't know if I necessarily want to own my own business, but I think knowing, like finding out more about the inner workings of it, and like the kind of person that you need to be, and I really look up to the people who are really business savvy and know what they're doing, and I'd like to be like that someday, but I still have a lot to learn. Um, there's a lot of bloggers that I look up to too. Elsie and Emma from A Beautiful Mess. They're awesome just because I mean they've done a lot. Hi, sorry, I had a couple customers come in. Anyway, my computer's running really slowly right now, so I'm like trying to figure out if it's syncing up. Okay. Um, anyway, Emma and Elsie of A Beautiful Mess, they've they basically like started small. They started small. They had a just like an independent, like a small boutique and bakery, and then there's just this blog on the side, and this blog has become like an empire for them. I mean, they've got collaborations with ModCloth. They've got a book coming out, and I really look up to people who make things like blogging into a full-time job, just because it's social media. It's an ever-evolving industry, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's gonna always evolve, but it's big. It's here to stay for a while, and it's awesome. I can't stand people who trash fashion bloggers because of that, because I think being able to do something that you're passionate about and make money off of it and be able to like survive off of that and also get like cool free stuff from people, I think that's really incredible. And I think people who criticize that are probably jealous, because who wouldn't dream of that life? Anyway, shit, what was I gonna say? Kayla of A Dainty Squid, I think, is also a blogger that I look up to, just because she does it full time now, and like that's her job. That's so cool. And but she's like a really interesting person. I love her style. Everything I learned about hair dye, I learned from her. She has a lot of cats, which of course I appreciate. And then also Sherry from Isley, Sherry Dupree Bemis. I've looked up to her for years now. She designed one of my tattoos, which I love. But yeah, I'm inspired by people who are really creative. I think Sherry's so talented musically, and with her drawing skills, she's just so talented, and she's got great taste in fashion and like home decor. I don't know. I'm inspired by people who are really creative and people who are really colorful and interesting, and I don't know. I strive to be like that one day, and I strive to keep trying to keep being creative. I mean, you can't really try, but I mean, I hope I can make a living out of something I love like that someday. And I guess those are the kind of people that inspire me, people who have made what they love into a living, so where it's not work anymore, it's actually something enjoyable. And that's my ultimate goal. Whatever I end up doing, I don't know what it's going to be. It'll probably change often, but as long as I'm happy doing it and it pays the bills, then I will be happy.